Today's live stream is brought to you by cyberarea.it. If you're looking for IT training geared towards cybersecurity, make sure you guys check out the link in the description below. You can sign up for free. And if you use the coupon code ITCQ50, you can save 50% off the premium membership, which gets you access to their practice labs and exams as well. Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Today, I am super stoked to be back, first of all, back in Illinois. Got back from Black Hat Friday, and I've been busy ever since. So I'm finally glad to be back on the YouTubes chatting with you guys, seeing how things are going. Today we're talking about toxic work environments, which is a big thing. It's a big deal. You see that a lot from people who are very vocal, right? I wouldn't say it's very frequent within the industry. I don't think every single job is toxic. There are definitely toxic jobs out there, which ultimately, I mean, they can ruin you. I mean, they can destroy the way that you feel about life, about your work life, your home life. And that's one of the worst things about the toxic work environments. When you are bringing your work home with you in a negative way, when you're just miserable at home because of work, because of something that happened at work, you're probably in a toxic work environment. When you're working with people who don't help you, who they're part of your team, but they don't work as a team. That's a toxic work environment. When you are working in an environment that doesn't give back to you and they don't invest in you, that's toxic. Like if you are working in an environment currently and they won't give you the opportunity to learn more, they won't pay for your certifications, they won't pay for boot camps, they won't pay for additional training, or even give you the time to advance your skills. That's toxic. Like, that is not somewhere you should be. So today we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about, what you can do, because I get asked this occasionally. I know in one of the live streams just recently, somebody said, "Hey, talk about toxic work environments," and that's what I wanted to do today. So hello everybody in the live chat right now. How you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well and fantastic and having a great and wonderful day. Um, Ultimately, what I want you guys to take away from this is, if you feel at all like you're in an environment that is making you miserable, that you're not accomplishing your goals, the things that you're looking to do, you're leaving work and you're miserable at home and you take it out on your spouse or your kids or your friends, get the F out. Like, there's nothing that is going to remedy the toxicity, right? If you have your team, multiple members on the team who are toxic and create that environment that's just miserable, get out. That manager, the director, the same thing. There's no reason to stay other than you're trying to get experience. That's the only reason that I would tell anybody to stay in a toxic work environment, to stick it out as long as they can. And that's only because you haven't gained the experience yet. You don't have the experience working in the field, so stay there as long as you can, right? And as long as you can means like 1 to 2 years max. I couldn't even do it then, but I know that working in environments that are miserable can affect your life. And I've worked in toxic work environments before, and there was only really one. And I know every single day I came home and I was just miserable at the day. My coworkers sucked. My directors sucked. And somebody just put in the chat that it can always get. It's Chris Howell. What's up, Chris Howell? Your boss, bro. Um, it will always get better. The grass is greener on the other side when you're in a toxic environment. And the things that you can do to start helping prepare is getting that experience, right? Utilizing every single thing that you do as a way to gain knowledge. And if you're working somewhere where you want to stick it out, you want to try the best that you can, the best thing that you can do is communicate. And that's one thing that really lacks often within environments, period, is communication. Um, the communication is key. So when you feel like you aren't getting what it is that you need, or you're just miserable, you have to open up that line of communication with either your director or your manager or just the members on your team. And at this point, like how's it going to hurt you to communicate with these people who are making your life and your work life miserable? it's it could make it worse, right? I mean, potentially, because they might look down on you for coming to them and trying to communicate with them on what the issue is. However, you will feel better talking to these people about these issues that are going on, the problems that you see. Overall, if you're trying to relay to somebody, especially like your manager, hey, not having a good experience here, not getting the support that I need. What you need to do with these conversations is make sure that you are emphasizing, how you want to be there, how you're looking to be better at your job. Excuse me. And that is one of the important things here, is approaching these conversations and these toxic situations in a way that you're trying to better yourself. You're trying to better the team. You're trying to better that organization. That alone should start to gear these different conversations in a more positive way. If you start off a conversation saying, hey, I really want to be better at my job, or hey, I really want to help improve this business, hey, I want to improve this process, and this is how I would go about doing it, or this is what I would like to see from the situation, instead of approaching situations right negative right off the bat. Like, hey, manager, I'm having a hard time because I'm not getting the support that I need. I'm not getting the tools that I need. Nobody is helping me along the way. That's not exactly the way to approach these situations. Don't come off negative right off the bat. Come off as in, this is what you're looking to do to make things better. Always start with a positive before you get to the negative. You'll see many times that people like to start with negative. They like to lead with that negative. As soon as you lead with negative information, negative communication, the rest of the conversation will continue to be negative. Always lead in a positive way. That's one of the best advice that I can give you, is to make sure that you can lead any conversation that you are having, which would be deemed toxic in some way, as positively as you possibly can be. So overall, toxic work environments just suck, right? It's just the worst. I know, I understand. Get out as soon as you can, but if you have to gain that experience, I completely understand as well. There's so much involved within toxic work environments that and I know many people are held back and continue to work in environments that are toxic because you can't move on. You have nowhere to go. And whether that's just because the location that you're in, there's not a lot of jobs available, not a lot of opportunities available. So that's where I was just talking about, that communication. Sometimes the communication can greatly help. It can make environments somewhat better. If you're constantly documenting what it is that's toxic, keeping note of these toxic situations, or toxic people even, um, that's one way to help uh, steer these situations into a better light. So overall, that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. I know the chat is there's people there talking about stuff. So if you guys have questions about toxic work environments, let's talk about it. Let's see what we can do that can help you. What's going on, IT Career Skills? Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that very much. Hope you are doing well today. I have to adjust my keyframe frequency settings because apparently I'm using the wrong keyframe frequency, and I have bad video settings. So hopefully the video is working all right for you guys, because on the YouTube Studio, it's saying that it's bad. It's not good. So anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well today. As you guys may or may not know, I just got back from the Black Hat conference. which was amazing. I mean, that was one of the best experiences of my life so far because, well, what I'm about to show you, because of what happened here. Let me pull this up. This was like the best experience. Um, I was so pumped. I don't know how big this is going to be. Very big. Way too big. Does anybody in chat know who this guy is that I'm standing with? That's my first question to you guys. Does anybody know who this is? Because this person right here, I remember when I first heard about who this person was. This was way back in like the year 2000, maybe 2001. And I watched a video about this, or I watched a movie about this person. The movie was called Takedown, and it was it was one of the greatest movies for me at that time because it really helped introduce me to um, hacking. Right, it helped introduce me to that whole side of the IT industry, and then I immediately started looking this guy up um, after that, and understanding really what hacking was and where it came to be. I mean, he started with freaking, with hacking with phones and things like that. But ultimately, who this person is, it's Kevin Mitnick, who is one of the he's the most famous hacker in the world, right? He's been around forever. But he is the most amazing social engineer to ever live, right? Like he, I would say he's like the founder of social engineering. He really helped. Well, I mean, he really made things bad in many ways, right? But he really has helped improve things in many ways as well. He's working for a company called KnowBe4, which which they focus on social or security awareness training. So it's really funny to see this guy be involved in a company that does social or security awareness training, being one of the founders of social engineering. I don't know, I love it. So I went to his birthday bash at when I was at Black Hat, and I got to meet him, take a picture with him, and honestly, I was fanboying like crazy. Like I could not get my words out of my mouth. So it was a great experience, though. Really glad I got to meet him. But I mean, I had a lot of great conversations. We're going to do a Black Hat follow-up video, talk about some of the things that I learned while I was there, talk about some of the conversations that I had with people, which were really, really good. And I don't know when that's coming out. I mean, I had my GoPro on a lot of the time, so I was recording video of me walking around, doing time lapse video or time lapse pictures to just get some different content. But it was a great experience. Definitely would do it again in a heartbeat. But anyway, what do you guys want to talk about with toxic work environments? Somebody's asking, service desk good or desktop support? They're both good. Yeah, Michael Morales. He did serve time. He is a convicted felon, right? But I mean, being what it is, what he does, what he's doing now. I mean, he was able to use that towards his advantage. The whatever security, IT career, CompTIA, CSAP, or CISP. Well, I don't know how long you've been working in the field. How long have you been working in security? Because the CISP isn't exactly obtainable without a few years of experience. Isn't recommended, especially without a few years of experience working in security. So, anyway, I hope I covered a lot of what I wanted to talk about with toxic work environments. I know people can suck. I hate people sometimes. And I want you guys to know, like, if you're in an environment that's just not doing it for you, the grass can be greener. You guys can move on and get into a better environment that will be more helpful to you, your career, and advancing. You just got a service desk job, you have a skill of desktop support, don't know what to do. Well, if you just got a service desk job, keep working the service desk job. Many of the like service desk, help desk, desktop support jobs are very similar to one another. So just get the experience. It's my best advice for you. Get experience. Anyway, this is just going to be a quick live stream. I hope you guys got a little bit of information from here, or a little bit of knowledge that you can take and utilize. Just know that it gets better. Things will get better. It will improve. Try to get out of a toxic work environment if you can, and take it easy, guys. I have some things I need to do and take care of, and I have some videos to edit. So